So since many friends have asking me about the fusions of the ancient 6-core element technology with the modern wearable technology, today I'd like to show you what I'm playing with. Okay? So I have this Fitbit Search, which is monitoring my heartbeat. So I know either I'm in the fat burning zone, cardio zone, or I'm resting, so forth. So I know my physical element. This is checking my brain wave, monitoring it. So I know I am in the quiet zone or active zone. Okay? So I know my mind element. This guy is giving the instructions so that I handling my breathing, and it count my breathing gradually, naturally. Okay, so this is I'm handling my breathing element. So 3 elements there. And if I do the danzhuang, standing pose, or I do xiu lim tao, the table will get my data. This is, we can now see what in the ancient cannot see. They call it internal. Or I cannot see my heartbeat, cannot see my mind or my breathing. But right now with all this gadget we can see. So we make internal transparent. Okay? And that will give us a better handling on what are we trying to do, instead of just woo, yeah, I'm the Sifu, I'm the great masters, but you know, what happened to that? Okay? So this thing exists. It does help, okay? Now, but this is just technology. Technology is just a tool, something to monitor you, your performance. You need the process, or in Chinese say you need the gongfa, the proper way of practice. In the previous YouTube, we say in the mind element there is 3 states. The physical element there's 3 states. The open up, the loose and expand, and the lightweight. In the mind, we have the settle, we have the quiet, and we have the peaceful, 3 states. In the breathing, we have the breathing, which is you can hear noise, making a whole bunch of noise. You can have the breathing, which is you are panting, like it's not very smooth, it's stuck here and stuck there. You have the breathing, which is smooth already, but it's not fine and deep. And then at last you have the breathing, which is fine and deep and smooth and natural. So one needs those processes in order to train this 10 element or 10 level, whatever I say. Okay, so the physical have 3 level, the mind have 3 level, the breathing have 4. Okay, so we need a process. So in today's word, meaning that all this gadget is fine, but we need the apps program. Process is the apps program. Okay? So, if we bring this into Zhanzhuang, standing pose, okay, just usually standing pose, or even Xiu Ling Tao, okay? In Zhanzhuang, one is not just standing there. One is actually going through the physical, the three level or three attainment of the physical, the open up, the loose, and the lightweight. See, to go through it, see where one can attain, okay, or which level one is, work on that. The mind, one is going through, is it a settle, is it a quiet, is it a peaceful state? So one is working on it. And the breathing, the 4 different levels, right? So everybody is different. So when people do Zhanzhuang, it's not just standing there, you know, or you're making a mimic, a posture, and so forth. No. And with this, I like to tell also, I don't like to do this kind of stuff for beginner because it will end up that it become locking up a whole bunch of stuff. So the best thing is to do this called 自然庄 or nature pose. If one cannot get this, the 10 state, the 10 level, or get it handled with the standing like this, one will not be able to do it. Because this is the minimum, okay? Now, if one cannot do it this, how can one do it in dynamically while in Xiuling Tang? Okay? And actually, when people come see me sharing and discussing about the Zhanzhuang and so forth, I don't recommend them to do Zhanzhuang. I make them lay flat. Because if you cannot lay flat and have the open, loose, and lightweight, how do you know you can do it in the standing? You don't even understand, or you don't even identify how every state feels. So I make people laying down. If you can attain it in the laying down, then you say, oh, now I can identify what it is. So when I stand up, I know this is what it is, or this is where I cannot reach, and then you can work with it. Okay? So that's how it is. It's not like, oh yeah, you just go down there, Zhanzhuang, and then you will get everything. And then Zhanzhuang. For me, those are monkey business. They don't even know what they are training inside there. They're just standing down there for what? Okay? It's just like one get thrown into a prison for 10 years. Well, you can be in prison for 10 years, but there's no Kung Fu there. It's very different than the athlete were trained 10 years with really know every detail of what they're trying to achieve. Okay? So, even though you have the high tech, you need the software, the process of training. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything good either. So the ancient software or process add up the modern technology. It can verify each other and help each other. And of course, a Sifu who know who experience is very important, because only those who experience be able to guide one and help one to identify what it is, what type of state it is. For people who just do book reading and theory and speculations, you cannot do that because they don't understand it. They don't know, they don't experience it. Okay? Okay. So, say if we don't have a Sifu, we still want to train the body, the mind, the breathing. What can we do? There's people asking me like that. A few people already asking me this way. For me, it's very simple. We can do the minimum. That means you get one of this rest break. Okay, this respirate machine. Respirate is the one where you wrap yourself with this sensor, and it coaches you on your breathing. It monitor your breathing, and it coach you your breathing, and it slowly get your breathing to be lower and lower and lower count every minute. So you're not forcing it. Okay. So if you're laying down, if you get this machine to respirate, don't need to get this heartbeat stuff and the brainwave stuff, but just respirate. Okay. If you sit on a comfortable place or laying down, okay, and loosening up your body, there is the feeling of loose, right? To the minimum, open up and loose because you're laying down. That is your physical element. The second thing is because you got to listen to it tell you inhale, exhale, the instruction. So your mind is actually settled. Okay? And because of settled, of course it will quiet down. And then, because it compute and automatically, very naturally lowering down your breathing, that is helping one to handle the breathing. So you have the mind, the body element, the mind element, the breathing element, by just the respirate. Okay. Okay. This is the old version. There's now even the new version and so forth. Okay? And of course, it is not only just this machine. It can be like you know, the Fitbit. You can have a different type. You can have Microsoft. You can have a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. And same thing with the EEG or the brainwave. You can have a different brand up there. Okay, and it can be used. Okay, just check it out. So if you have this, you can have a very minimum understanding or experience. I shouldn't say understanding, experience of what is meant by open and loose, because you're laying down, and then the mind is at least settled, okay, and quiet if you follow the instructions, and then the breathing, the count coming down, and the breathing smoother, and so this is the very minimum. If you get a machine and you're willing to spend, say, 15 minutes per day just practicing this, like saying sitting down, then you can have a very good, very beginner level of this experience in the body, mind and breathing elements. Okay? And once you have the experience, you import it when you do Zhanzhuang to see can your body, or how far your body is different compared with when you're laying down. When you practice this sitting down or laying down, how far it is. How far is your mind? How far is your breathing? And thus you know, by compare, and you know, oh yeah, I know, when I'm standing, I need to lose it more, because when I can do it in the laying down, okay? So one can, one know the trend, one can identify what's going on. So later on, if one even do the Xiu Lim Tao, one can know which state it is.